Hello my dear students. So today we'll proceed up with the one more example. Your illustration 2 I have taken the same what we had did your LHL RHL to solve the problems how you have to check the existence of limit. Okay, so illustration 2, consider the function they have given f of x is equal to sin x. Find limit f of x as x tends to pi by 2, which that is f of x is nothing but your sin x. So you have to check whether it you have to find this limit. Before that you have to check it existence, right? You have to check the existence. So to check the existence, what we have to go for LHL RHL, right? If they are equal, limit exists. If they aren't equal, they it doesn't exist. So first we will write given f of x is equal to sin x. Okay, LHL RHL and your limit common point. So we will first we will check LHL RHL and then direct also we will put. So first we will take for LHL limit f of x as x tends to pi by 2 minus, right? Pi by 2 minus. I'll write here only. Okay, limit f of x nothing but sin x. Now I am taking stepwise so that you understand. Pi by 2 minus. Now x is replaced by how? Pi by 2 minus h, because it is LHL. So I can write limit sin pi by 2 minus h, and here what it becomes? H tending to 0, right? H tending to 0. Sin pi by 2 minus h is what? Yes, sin 90 minus theta is cos theta, right? So it becomes cos h as h tends to 0. Sin 90 minus h is what? First quadrant, and it is y-axis. On y-axis your function changes, and this is first quadrant. In first quadrant sin is positive, so this remains positive. So h tending to 0 means cos 0, putting h value as 0. Cos 0 is nothing but 1. So LHL you are getting 1. In the same way we'll check for RHL. RHL limit f of x as your x tends to pi by 2, what it becomes? Plus. So limit f of x is nothing but your sin x as x tends to pi by 2 plus. So directly like this you can go. Now start your doing, so I am writing it, but when you will be doing further now you will get used of it. So limit in place of x, what it is replaced? It is pi by 2 plus h as your h tending to 0. So limit pi by 2 plus h, again it is y-axis, so pi by 2 plus h it becomes cos h as h tending to 0, and pi by 2 plus h means it is second quadrant. Second quadrant sign is positive. Yes, so cos again 0 it is 1. So RHL also you are getting as 1. So you can see LHL RHL is equal. Again we will, so your LHL even for main common point we'll check, that is limit sin x as x tends to pi by 2 direct. Okay, direct if we check, I didn't write f of x na, it's okay, directly I'll write. Okay, LHL you did, RHL you did, common point also you have to check, right? So limit pi by 2, sin pi by 2 is what? Nothing but 1. So limit f of x also directly you are getting 1. So therefore your LHL is equal to RHL is equal to f of 1 you can take is equal to 1 you can do. Therefore limit exist. Therefore your limit f of x as x tends to pi by 2 is nothing but 1. Yes, when LHL is equal to RHL means you will get a common point. For common point also you check how? Directly substituting, not finding LHL RHL, directly substituting here x is approaching to which term. Okay, like this you are getting common also. So LHL is equal to RHL is equal to 1. It is also equal to your f of x. So your limit exists. I hope it is clear how you have to find your LHL RHL for your existence of limit. Okay, next we'll proceed with the next part. Please note it down properly, understand it. If you have any doubts, please ask it or go through the video repeatedly. The next part is algebra of limits. Okay, it is nothing much in depth, but just your addition, difference, how it works, that's it. Theorem kind of it is, let f and g be two functions such that both limit f of x as x tends to a and limit g of x tends to a exist. Okay, when this both separately it is exist, then it is limit, commonly they have given f of x plus g of x as x tends to a. Distributive law you are applying, distributive property, when you have a plus b into c like this. So how you do, how you open up the bracket, a into c plus b into c. In the same way, okay, like this, if you have some, or a into b plus c, if you have distributive law only, right, a into b plus b a into c. So the same case you are doing here, limit f of x plus g of x as x tends to a, any common point. So limit f of x as x tends to a plus limit g of x as x tends to a, separately it opens up. Okay, same applies for difference too, limit f of x minus g of x as x tends to a is equal to limit f of x as x tends to a separately minus again limit g of x as x tends to a. In case of product too, limit f of x tends to a, f of x into g of x, limit f of x into x into a into limit g of x as x tends to a. In terms of quotient, limit f of x by g of x as x tends to a. Here also see, when it is quotient, when it is product, like commonly you shouldn't apply separately. In quotient also, because many questions will come where you think you'll take this whole part as a kind of division part, how you do like this you take, but it won't be like that. Separately you have to apply the limit, like here limit f of x as x tends to a divided by limit g of x as x tends to a. And in this case only, in product case only, in particular case, just I have given it as fifth, particular case of third I have taken, if your g of x is replaced by lambda, where it is a constant function, like g of x is a constant, means lambda constant function, keep it as it is and apply limit only for the function, that is limit f of x tends to a. You have the g is a constant function such that g of x is equal to lambda, like this. Okay. This is very important, like you will be using it when you get addition, when you get subtraction, product, division. So please go through it, make the notes properly. Next part is we are knowing limits of polynomials and rational functions. Your polynomial is what? Your algebraic function, polynomial function, how it is given, a naught plus a1 x plus a2 x square, so on up to nxn, right? So when you apply limit here, okay, a naught here, x is not there, so this remains constant as it is. But here when you apply limit, see, we know that limit x as x tends to a, we take it as a, right? Limit x raised to n as x tends to is equal to a raised to n, where we are substituting our x as a, means x is tending to a. So in short, what it becomes, limit f of x as x tends to a is equal to f of a. Okay, this becomes only when the function is continuous. The function is continuous. So this is just a definition, just write it down. A function is said to be polynomial f of x is 0 function, or if your polynomial where a i's are real numbers such that a n should not be equal to 0 for all some natural, for some natural number. This means for some, okay, for some. Instead of this you write this only, for some natural number. Rational function, so function f is said to be a rational function if f of x equal to g of x by h of x, where here h of x and g of x are polynomials. It should be a polynomials and h of x should not be equal to 0, because if this is 0, 1 by 0 is not defined, right? It is infinity in short. So your denominator should never be 0, okay, in case of your rational function. Please note it down. Such that h of x is not equal to 0, then say limit f of x in terms of your rational. I'm telling, when you have say g of x by h of x, when you have like this rational, even in that algebraic I said you, for the whole you are not applying, you are applying separately. Limit g of x as x tends to a, limit h of x as x tends to a, it is nothing but g of a divided by h of a. Okay, so this is your limits of polynomials and rational functions kind of definitions. So for example, considering an example, see, find the limit of limit x cube minus x square plus 1 as x tends to 1. So how we do? In terms of your x, we are substituting what? 1, right? So this becomes 1 cube minus 1 square plus 1. So 1 cube is 1, 1 square is 1 plus 1. So plus 1 minus 1 get cancels, you are having with 1. So limit of this is 1. Okay, whenever you are telling, you have to find it in such a way. So this was your polynomial, right? In your polynomial algebraic function. Now you have limit x cube minus 4x square plus 4x divided by x square minus 2 as x tends to 2. So this is in your rational function. Whenever you have rational function, first we will check for that point if we are getting 0 by 0 form for that point. Then when you substitute directly, right, then we'll go for cancelling out the factors, means we'll try to simplify and then find the value of it, right? So we will try to do, first we will check exactly at 2, directly we will substitute and see whether we are getting 0 by 0 form or no. If we are not getting, then what answer we are getting is that. If we are getting 0 by 0 form, then we will try to simplify. So if I substitute here 2 cube, it will be 8 minus 4, 2 square is 4. So 16 minus 4 to 8. So 8 plus 8, 16 minus 8. So here on you can see numerator you are getting 0. So 2 square is 4, 4 minus 4 0. So you are getting it 0 by 0 form when you are evaluating at exactly 2. We are getting 8 minus 16 plus 8 divided by 4 minus 4. So this is you are getting. So hence we will simplify it. We will do the factorization. We will see x cube minus 4x square plus 4x x square minus 4 as your x tends to 2. Okay, so it is in the form of cubic form, so you will get x into x minus 2 square. You have to find, means you can go for polynomial division for your x cube. So factorizing, you get limit x minus 2 the whole square of this part. If you do, you will get the same. Say x minus 2 whole square means a minus b the whole square form you will do, and again multiply x. This is also a square minus b square, so a minus b, a plus b. So this one and this one get cancels. You will be having a limit x into x minus 2 divided by x plus 2 as your x tends to 2, right? Now again we can't do anything, so now we will substitute our limit. So into 2 minus 2 divided by 2 plus 2. So here you will get 0 divided by 4, which is nothing but your 0. This is equal to 0. So your value for this is 0. I hope I am clear how you have to solve it. Okay. So next is theorem 2. For any positive integer n, limit x raised to n minus a raised to n divided by x minus a, where x tends to a is equal to n a raised to n minus 1. Okay. This is also a theorem. Proof, you write it down. Okay, I'll just explain you. This is the proof from here to here. Please write it down. It is nothing but expanding, considering your polynomial equation, and then applying the limit, you will get the same. Okay, so take down this proof. Next class we'll do with the next topic. We'll see with the example part how you have to do. Okay, we'll see the example only, considering this theorem how it works. Limit x raised to 15 minus 1 x raised to 10 minus 1 as your x tends to 1 it is. So obvious it is in rational function. So whenever it is rational function, what you have to do, first directly you have to check substituting your extending a value of x, then we will go for simplification. Okay, so when you see 1, if I put 1 raised to 15 is 1 only, 1 minus 1 0 I am getting. 1 raised to 10 minus 1, this is also 0. So if you are getting 0 by 0 form, infinity by infinity form, then it doesn't get, so you have to go to simplify. So now how we can do is, we'll take use of this theorem itself. How I'll do, limit, see x raised to 15 minus 1 divided by x minus 1, yes, into again x minus 1 divided by x raised to 10 minus 1, yes. If I want this like this to make, how I can do, division it goes. Okay, here it becomes multiplication, right? If separately I write into 1 by x raised to 10 minus 1, so I am multiplying and dividing it by what, x minus 1. I am multiplying, dividing it by x minus 1. So this only again how I can write, limit x tends to 1 okay. X raised to 15 minus 1 divided by x minus 1, this can go into division, this goes to the division part, right? So x raised to 10 minus 1 divided by x minus 1. See, now it is in the division form, so applying limit separately, right? So how you will get limit x raised to 15 divided by x minus 1 as x tends to 1 divided by limit x raised to 10 minus 1 divided by x minus 1 as your x tends to 1. Okay. Now this is in the form of your theorem. What your theorem tells? Limit x raised to n minus a raised to n divided by x minus a as x tends to a is equal to what? N a raised to n minus 1. So here you see x raised to 15, 1 raised to same only x minus 1, right? So the form is what? 15, n is what? 15, a is our 1, n minus 1, 15 minus 1 is 14 divided by, here how it is, 15, n is what? 10, a is 1 raised to 10 minus 1 is 9. So this 15 raised to 1 raised to 14 is 15 only, divided by 10 only it is, right? Division it is. So 5 3s are 5 2s are, so you'll get the value as 3 by 2, right? Am I right? I hope I'm clear how you have to do it. Okay, just try to simplify it. I hope I'm clear. So we'll meet with the next topic in the next class. Thank you, students.